this chair is somewhat squeakier than I would have liked, but never mind. Welcome to my first video on this channel. I am so happy that you're here. Thank you for liking and subscribing and leaving me a comment. I am super grateful for that. So if you don't know me, my name is Sophie and I am usually the host of a podcast called Empower State, which I will leave just here somewhere, where I teach mindset and manifestation. But I've decided to start this channel so I can just create more general content and just overshare my life as a gal in her 30s. So I have got 6 pieces of advice that I would love to go back and share with my 20-year-old self if I had a time machine, and I'm going to share them with you in case they help you. So let's get started. I'm going to need some WD-40 for that. The first piece of advice that I would go back as a 36-year-old woman to give to my 20-year-old self would be to stop trying to change to fit into your environment and start changing your environment to fit you. Because for a long time in my 20s, I felt very much like a square peg in a round hole. And I put all of my effort into chiseling the fuck off the side of that square peg to try and force it to fit in the round hole, and that left me miserable and burnt out and feeling like I just wasn't good enough when actually I was. So I would really love my 20-year-old self to focus on building an environment that supports who she is, because actually the reason I wasn't thriving is just because I was a goldfish trying to climb a fucking tree, and I was never going to be able to succeed in that. So when I changed my world to fit me in many different ways, but particularly when I left my job and started building a business, suddenly life got dramatically better. So my second piece of advice would be, it's not even advice really, it's just a little word with myself. You're not as fat as you think you are. And I don't want to break it to you, but you're going to get significantly fatter before you get thinner again. So just enjoy it while it lasts. Because if I had have spent all of the energy that I used to spend thinking of what diet shall I go on next, like literal every fucking diet in the book, I went on it with the sole purpose of just being skinnier, I would be a millionaire right now, because I had no headspace to think of anything apart from that, and I would do ridiculous shit. I'm talking ridiculous things to be thinner. So every fucking diet that came out, I would be on it. The cabbage soup diet, the eating grapefruits and eggs. The Special K diet, which was fantastic marketing from Kellogg's, just bring out a diet that's just eating their cereal. I did that. And probably the worst of all, that some of you might remember, the hot dog diet, where I just ate hot dogs for a whole month. And by the end of it, I could barely fucking stand up off the couch. And all that did was just give me a horrible binge eating disorder for the vast majority of my 20s and into my early 30s, that I had to then heal and fix and stop doing that. So I would really go back and say, babe, like just fucking go and live your life and stop concentrating so much on that. Just eat some protein, go for a walk and fucking pack it in. My third piece of advice would be to stop fucking around with manifestation fluff. I would say to her, just skip the part where you're into all of the law of attraction stuff. Not that there's anything wrong with law of attraction, but it really like leads you down a garden path of thinking that there's something outside of you, that there's this genie in the lamp that you are asking the universe, and you know, you're relying very heavily on crystals. Now don't get me wrong, I love a fucking crystal, as you can see, I love a crystal, but it ain't gonna get you your dream life. It's gonna, you know, make you very happy when you buy it and maybe help you in a meditation. It's not going to reprogram your subconscious mind, babe. So I would get straight into law of assumption content, I'd go and listen to my podcast. I would read Neville Goddard books. I'd read Nada Amari books. Maybe I'll do like a book recommendation video. I think that would be quite good. But I would skip all of the manifestation fluff and just get straight in to actually taking control of your life and reprogramming your subconscious mind so that you can create anything you fucking want. My fourth piece of advice would be to take everybody off the pedestal and put yourself on the pedestal. I cannot tell you how much of my 20s I spent being an absolute people pleaser, like in jobs. And this again came down to the first one that I mentioned, trying to fit myself in environments where I didn't thrive because I thought I wasn't like good enough in some way. But I would try and overcome that by getting everybody's validation, like everyone, literally everyone, my friends, my boyfriends, men in general. Is there an ice cream van outside? Never mind, we'll leave that in. I would just try and get everybody's validation to say, yes, you're good enough. Particularly at work, I think I did that as well. Like with bosses, I would put them on this pedestal and see them as so high above me that I would literally be like running around after them. And when I changed that and like just started becoming apologetically myself, that is when I experienced the most love and acceptance of everyone, because there's nothing as magnetic as being yourself. So don't do that. Don't be a people pleaser. It's okay to say no. It's okay to tell people to fuck off. And my fifth one would be, these two are probably my favourite ones actually. The fifth and the sixth one. The fifth one would be to tell you that you are never going to be ready. And this illusion of falling for this like idea of when. So when I'm older, when I've lost weight, when I've got more money, when I've got more time, when I finish this project, when the kids are grown up, all of that shit, it's a trap. You are never ever going to be ready to do something. There's always going to be something that comes up. So for example, like starting your podcast, you could have done that years ago, babe. Could have done that years ago. But you never felt ready. So I would definitely tell her, like, just go and do the fucking thing, because you are never going to feel ready. And be okay with doing things messily. Like right now, I'm starting this YouTube channel. I've not got a perfect background. I've just been to B&M and got a few fucking candles. I hope you like them. I hope you like them. Cost me 10 quid then. But we're just doing it. I've got you propped up on a shoebox. Like, I haven't got no fancy shit. But we're just going to get started, because all of those things are just barriers that are in the way of you getting started. So don't fall for this illusion of when you're ready. You're not gonna be in anything that you ever do. So 20-year-old me, get started, babe. And the final one, and probably the most important one, is to educate yourself about money. Money for me, especially when I was younger, like when I was 20, in fact, I think 20 was the year where I got a credit card for the first time in my life. Again, this links back to putting people on a pedestal, to pay for my boyfriend, to pay for like the part of the deposit for a new Mercedes that he wanted. And I was happy to do that, like no shade on him. And I put that on a credit card, and that was it. I just left it on there for years. I didn't realise that you had to pay for credit cards. But anyway, that's beside the point. So I had like a lot of, I suppose, like shame around money. Like I felt very embarrassed about anything to do with money. I had this idea that I only recently discovered, that money's not for girls, that it's like a male thing. So I just avoided it at all costs. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing with it. I programmed in that I was useless with it, all of this shit. I would love to go back and tell 20-year-old me that I teach people about money mindset as part of my other business. Like, that would blow her mind, because everything that I thought was true about money was not. Like, everything was completely the fucking opposite of how to create money. Like, so opposite of that. And I think, again, I might do another video on that, because I think it's so important to become financially literate and to understand about the energetics of money as well. But even things like investing, I thought investing was for old men in grey suits. Like, I had no idea what it even was. I didn't even understand what it meant. So if I could go back and know what I know now about how to create money, you know, we'd be bowling on a yacht, babe. We'd be bowling on a yacht. So those are my 6. I could probably do like another 10 videos on this, so please come in the comments and let me know what you thought of my first messy but let's get started video. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for subscribing. I really want one of those silver plaques, maybe a gold one. So if you could help me get one of those, forever grateful. And I will see you next week for another video, maybe before, because I might be so excited and so enthusiastic that I do another one this week. We'll see. Stay tuned. Get some WD-40 for my chair. Bye.